Ladies and gentlemen, the All-Star break is over. It is the second half of the MLB season with a full betting slate today. It is July 22nd. It is Parlay Friday. We are live on the Spotlight Sports Network. Welcome to the show. My co-host Anthony Saccone, no guest today. And how we feeling? I know you're not like crazy about the slate today, but how we feeling? How we getting started? Like what's going on?
Yeah, not crazy about the slate today. It was, it was a little tough looking at some things, but, of course we figured it out because it's Parlay Friday. That's what we do. But we're coming off a ridiculous week. That's how you start the first or the second Parlay Friday episode on the now Spotlight Sports Network. I mean, we were hot last week. All the parlays were hitting. Bets were locked last Friday night. So let's keep it rolling.
Your boy Judge stopped us from a perfect night.
He did, and I was at that game. That was unfortunate. They lost that game, but we came back.
Your boy Judge stopped us from the coveted perfect night where we hit all our parlays and our best bets, but that's okay. It's fine because this week we're back. But before we begin, let's talk a little All-Star game. First of all, the uniforms. Aren't the uniforms supposed to be so? We have a lot of problems here. So first of all, uniforms. Aren't the uniforms supposed to be themed to the team that hosts? When did the Dodgers don't have gold in their uniform? Like what happened? Why was everything just black and gold and white and gold?
I mean, they were nice jerseys. Do not get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that the jerseys were ugly, but you are 100% right. I mean, years ago in Miami, we had, you had the Marlins colors. Those looked awesome in the American and National League All-Star jerseys. But yeah, I mean, they've been doing it all along. The MLB, they just have been switching things up lately. The jerseys did look really good. Don't get me wrong, but there's no black and gold in the LA Dodgers uniforms. There's not even close.
No, not even close. And then I didn't like the AL uniforms. I thought the black and gold. I thought it was more of like a gray than a black. Like it was like a dark gray. I don't know. It looked weird to me. What happened to the I liked the jerseys that just said American and National on them back in the day that they wore for the Derby. And because I feel like even next year they have a sick opportunity next year with Seattle. Like Seattle's uniforms are sick. They have sick opportunity with the colors. And I just feel like they're going to drop the ball. Like I don't know, man.
Well, so my biggest beef is all these years, besides last year, but all these years we've seen during the Home Run Derby, the contestants, they wear their American and their national jerseys, and we see their name on the back of their jerseys. And the coolest thing ever is during the All-Star game when the teams or the players wear their respective team jerseys. How cool is it when you see if it's an American League team that's hosting the All-Star game, say back in Minnesota or whatever, you have Jeter at shortstop and then like a Red Sox at second base or an Astro at third base. I want to see the teams or the players in their regular home jerseys. I want to see the Yankees pinstripes. I don't want to see every player in the same jersey, but it says New York or Boston on the front, but they're still wearing the same colors. When you have a replacement, I can't really even tell who is who. Why does the MLB have to change things that have worked for so long? They did it last All-Star game a year ago. I believe it was Colorado last year, where they had during the Home Run Derby, Alonso was wearing his Mets jersey. Like, no, put him in the National League jersey. And then during the All-Star game, I want to see every individual team jersey out on that field at the same time. It's baseball. It's not basketball. You're not playing 5-on-5 where you're getting confused and you're throwing the ball to the wrong guy. Like, when you feel the ball at shortstop, you're throwing to the first baseman. I don't care what he's wearing. So that is by far my biggest beef with the last two All-Star games. I want to see the team's jerseys in the All-Star game and not everybody wearing the same thing.
Right. No, I agree with that too. And I think like everybody wearing the same thing is great for the Derby, like they used to have. But now it's like, all right, now it's just weird, man. Like they're doing weird things. There's weird stuff going on with that. They don't know what they're doing is how I feel about it. Now Stanton wins MVP. He impales a baseball, whatever. We know that. Game itself, I mean, the game's okay. I like the mic'd up stuff. I like Manoah mic'd up, like Cortez mic'd up. The mic'd up stuff is great for stuff like that.
Yes.
But let's get it. And also Julio Rodriguez at the Derby. Like that guy is a stud. He's 21. He's going to be just an absolute stud. What's up, Key? How we doing? It's like the guy is the next star. He's going to probably be 30-30. Well, he's definitely going to be 30-30 this year. If he goes bananas with the home runs, he could be 40-40. But honestly, like that guy next year, like you got to center the event around that guy next year in Seattle. I don't know why you would not be doing that. The MLB will find a way to screw that up. Their marketing is terrible. We just need to talk to them about it. Now let's move on to here. Everybody's wondering, Juan Soto's getting traded.
Yeah.
You're a Yankee fan. Obviously you want him. I want him as a Mets fan, but like, what are you willing to give up for Juan Soto? He's 23.
He's 23. So the thing is, from a Yankees perspective, it's like if you get Soto, then you say goodbye to Judge. Like there's no way you can pay both Soto and Judge.
You can. You're the Yankees.
You would think that, but they're already having trouble paying Judge. Never mind paying Soto on top of that. I mean, if you're the Yankees, though, your window is right now. It is not getting any wider. It's not getting any like it's going to get smaller from here on out, I should say, but it's never going to be as big as it is right now. If you want to really, really say that you're the team and you want to go for it, then anything's on the table for Soto. From a Yankee perspective, I mean, the Mets are the same exact way, but the Yankees window, this is their best opportunity right now, especially if you lose Judge next year.
Yeah, I that's true. The Yankees window, they need to like imagine that outfield Stanton, Judge, Soto, and then like you probably and then Matt Carpenter, but that's ridiculous. Now, I just think there's only a few teams that could really. You don't want to like because so the Nationals are asking for the thing that they're asking for. That's weird to me. Is that not weird, but they're asking for like 2 major league ready talent, 2 players that are major league ready talent, and then top prospects, which you want the farm for them. But I don't know if it becomes too much for a team to give up. I know Soto's only 23. I understand that. Yes, great. But I don't know if it becomes too much for a team to look at. Like, remember, I'll compare this to when the Knicks traded for Melo.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks traded for Melo. And they gave up everything. Like they only went. What they do? They went to the playoffs once and they lost in the second round. But then maybe they went to the playoffs twice, but they went to the second round. Whatever.
They made the playoffs a couple times, but they lost in the second round.
But they lost in the second round to the Pacers. Whatever. But it's like, how much do you? What point does it get to where you give up? Where you give up a bunch of guys, and now your team's not nearly as good, even though you have this stud player.
Well, the counter argument to it is, if you win the World Series, it doesn't matter. You don't care. Then it was a great trade. So especially for the Yankees perspective, you get Soto this year and you win the World Series and you say goodbye to whoever at the end of the year, that is a successful trade. Yes, you mortgage your future, but the whole point is to win and to win now. I mean, when the Cubs got Aroldis Chapman and they gave up Gleyber Torres, their future shortstop or second baseman, whatever you want to say, people look back at it if you're a Cubs fan or from a Cubs point of view, it's like, all right, maybe now the trade doesn't look so good, but you won the World Series that year, so it was a good trade. So if a team that gets Soto, they go on, they win, it's a good trade.
It's only all right. What's up, Coach Dante? How you doing, man? So the thing is, yeah, if you win the World Series, it's a good trade.
Yes.
But what if you win but is it still a good trade if you win the World Series and you don't sign him to a huge contract in 2 years?
Depends on the team, yes. Because, I mean, you get money, you get revenue, you get everything from winning the World Series. You become the top dogs. I mean, yeah, I still think it's successful, 100%.
All right. I mean, I want the Mets to package. I saw it terrible. Like people come up with dumb trade ideas. They're like, the trade packages was centered around like Dom Smith and JD Davis. And I was like, what? Who would want either of those? Like, why would the Nationals want those guys for Juan Soto? Dom Smith's hitting 189 with no home runs. He hasn't hit a home run since last July. JD Davis is like a situational pinch hitter. I mean, why would that be the center of a deal? Like the deal starts with Francisco Alvarez and probably Jeff McNeil and Tyler McGill. Unfortunately, I would hate to see those guys go, but I would love that. I would love that for Soto. Yeah, it does. Coach Dante says it depends on the team that gets him. It depends. It depends on the team that gets him, and it depends on the Nationals. So before we get into best bets and everything, I think it depends on the Nats in terms of what they're going to have to make a concession, right? The Nats are going to either have to say, listen, we know you want out. So we have to like the leverage, they lose leverage when they know he wants out.
Problem. Right.
So that's an issue. So it's going to be something along the lines of how much what are we willing to take back from this initial offer? Because you're gonna want. That's my dog. Sorry, everyone. I know we're live. My dog's he just wants to bark. He's a psycho. What are the Nats willing to like concede in this deal? So like, there's got to be a must-have, and then what they're willing to concede. And the team that gets him, I think the team that gets him, like, yeah, you might not need to win a World Series this year, but you have to re-sign Soto and win a World Series sometime in the next 3 years. No, because you're trading the farm.
Right.
So
right.
Go. What
No, if you win the World Series this year and then he goes, then it's still successful for me, at least. That's what I think. But
I don't know if it's still successful though, because you traded I get it. One World Series. As a Mets fan, they've never won a World Series in my life. I've watched them lose twice. Yeah, maybe I would consider it successful, but then I gotta go through 10 years of misery.
Give me the win. Give me the ring. I mean, look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, they're not sweating it. They traded everything. They got Brady, and they're living in it right now. And I mean, they re-signed him, but still, you get the one ring, and I mean, it's life changing for a franchise.
I guess. I mean, they're gonna get so much. They're gonna get so much for him. They're gonna basically rebuild the farm system. Get out of there. Get out of there. No, sorry. They're going to rebuild the farm system basically with trading him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. I don't know if you win a World Series, I just don't know if one World Series and then giving up the next 10 years of your future is worth it. You got to re-sign the guy. Bottom line.
You also say you're giving up the rest of your future, but you don't. How many times say you get 4 prospects for Soto? You really think all 4 prospects are going to pan out? Like, I know they're all highly. There's going to be like maybe 1 or 2 that are going to be like, damn, I wish we still had him. But besides that, and you get the World Series, it's like you're not really risking completely your future, but yeah, you are giving up definitely a franchise cornerstone potentially. But
that's true. That's why I keep saying the Mets should trade Alvarez for Wilson Contreras. And it was like, why would you trade this level of prospect? I was like, first of all, Contreras is the best catcher in baseball. I don't want to hear about Will Smith and JT Realmuto. Contreras is the best catcher in baseball. That's just look at the numbers, factual. The Mets trading Alvarez for a guy like Wilson Contreras solves 2 things. One, a bat. Because everyone's like, oh, they just need a DH. Okay, but there's not really many available out there. And then now you have a good catcher and a bat. You solve 2 problems instead of having an automatic out and like mediocre defensive catchers. And the thing is, you can't bring Alvarez up. They're like, oh, then just bring Alvarez up. You're not going to bring Alvarez up in the middle of a pennant race when he's a rookie that has to deal with a veteran pitching staff. Right? Because you have DeGrom's coming back. You have Scherzer. You got guys like Bassett. You got guys like Carrasco, Ty Walker. That's hard to handle. You want a veteran catcher in place. That, yeah, maybe you want to bring him up to be the DH, but then you're stunting his growth as a catcher. I want to trade him. I want to get Contreras. And then guess what? Uncle Stevie Cohen's got some money. So we can figure out re-signing the guy. Anyway. Let's move into why everyone's here. It's Parlay Friday. We're making some bets. It's a rough slate because we're coming off. Keep in mind today, everybody who's watching right now or listening, keep in mind if you're betting on baseball today, it's tough to go off of numbers that have been and trends over the last 2 weeks. When guys go on the All-Star break, they've had a week off. Things are going to change. It's probably going to be a little slow out of the gate. Under is probably pretty good today. Some Nerfies probably pretty good today. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's different with people having this long layoff. So it's a tough slate today. And let's start with you. What are you looking at here?
Yeah, so for best bet, again, I love just looking for value in these bets. So the Phillies are like they're minus 120, I believe, on the money line, last I checked. But for the first 5, they're plus 100. So we're going Phillies first 5 at plus 100, plus money. Can't beat it. Kyle Gibson's on the mound coming off his best start of the year where he went toe-to-toe with Sandy Alcantara last Friday night, giving up just 1 run in 6 innings and 4-hit baseball. And he's taking on Justin Steele and this Cubs team they're a mediocre team. Justin Steele, a 4.15 ERA. So the value definitely is in play here with the Phillies at plus money and at home in the first 5. So that's why I'm going Phillies plus 100 first 5 tonight.
That's good value right there. Right. First 5. I also think it's good value because the Phillies are actually I have a full game of them in my parlay. Spoiler alert. They're facing a lefty in Justin Steele, who like analytically his stuff looks good, but the Phillies are 9th in the league against lefties. Kyle Gibson, he had a really bad June. He had a really good start his last time out. So I think I don't even think the Cubs are really that great. Their lineup's not that good. They've been hitting lately, kind of, but against the Mets, they really didn't do anything. So I like Kyle Gibson better than I like Justin Steele, and I like the Phillies lineup better. Even without Harper, I like the Phillies lineup. Like, they still have Schwarber, they still have Castellanos. I mean, Real Muto's having a down year, but they still have him. Bohm, Hoskins. They have guys that can hit. They just have a bunch of DHs all over the field. They can't play defense worth a lick. They have a bunch of DHs all over the field. Let's see. We got some comments here. Coach Dante, I'm a diehard Astros fan. Great series between our two teams, but great. I mean, Yankees. The Yankees.
The Astros, not for the Yanks.
Yeah, the Astros, man. They're so good. They're a wagon.
Whoever they pitch, they just turn him into a stud. Like, they could, you and I, we'll have like a sub-3 ERA easily.
It's ridiculous. They're great. Like, it's unbelievable. And then Kyle Gibson is a thorn in my Astros side. That dude always pitches very good against the Astros, capable of pitching it. Yeah, he is. Kyle Gibson freaks me out because he doesn't strike a lot of guys out, but he throws a sinker, and like, teams have trouble lifting the baseball.
Right.
So I think Cubs are going to run into some trouble with that tonight. My best bet, a little out of the box here. It's weird to call this a best bet. I'm doing the Giants first 5 plus a half. This is at minus 122. So Giants have Logan Webb going on the bump tonight. We know he's really good. Another sinker baller. Guy throws like bowling balls at like 93. He's got a 2.93 ERA. He's been great all year. Giants are 7th in the MLB against left-handed pitching. They're facing Tyler Anderson tonight for the Dodgers, who's been very good. But I like the Giants in this scenario for the first 5, and I'm getting the tie. So if it's a tie, I win this bet with the plus a half. So give me the Giants first 5 plus a half. That's minus 122. That's what I'm going with here.
I like that. I mean, I do have a little something coming up on that game later for my Parlay Friday, of course. But I do like that bet. Logan Webb is good. Giants, like I said about Houston, they're just another organization that they see something in a certain pitcher. They bring him in when he struggles in another team. They bring him in, they change him around, and they turn them into studs. Logan Webb, he has been really good this year. So I like him. And Alex Cobb, another guy that they kind of really turned around from the Angels from a season ago. But I like this Giants team, and I like that bet. So first 5, and you get the tie too. Very likely going up against Tyler Anderson. Going to be an interesting matchup for sure.
I mean, Tyler Anderson's been good, but the Giants clearly do better against lefties. They're like these teams. The teams I'm looking at, like teams like the Giants and like the White Sox. The splits are like insane. Cardinals too, like where they really hit lefties well, but they can't hit righties. I don't know. I don't even really know why. Whatever. And they just have these guys that it's weird the way the splits are. Maybe it's just seeing the ball better. It's, baseball is just tough sport. Whatever. And it's weird because when you're facing lefties, like the ball's moving more. Like lefties don't throw the ball straight. Like they're always got that little arm side run on it. It's so I don't know why they hit lefties better than they hit righties, but they do. So I like this here, and I'm only first 5. Like the Dodgers could come back later in this game and just demolish. So we're just gonna avoid that. So give me a tie after 5. Like I'm great, minus 122. And now's the moment we've all been waiting for. It's Parlay Friday. So parlay time on the show. Anthony, what do you have today, sir?
All right, let's get it going. Second half of the season. So we're calling it start the second half hot parlay. Get these odds at plus 450. Kicking things off with the Brewers first 5. We're not overthinking this. Corbin Burns, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Absolute stud, taking on the Rockies, and Antonio Senzatella. Senzatella's ERA approaching a 5. He's at a 4.95. So the Brewers at home should come out. The beer makers should be hitting in the first 5. Burns should be doing what he does, and that's shutting down the Rockies in the first 5. So we're not even going to overthink that. Moving on, we have the Dodgers, as previously mentioned, but this time on the money line. They're on a 10-game home win streak. So I'd rather stand and ride the win train I'd rather stand and ride the win train than stand in front of it and get hit by it. So I'm going to ride the win train there. 10 games in a row at home. And Tyler Anderson, a 2.96 ERA. He's been pretty solid this year, taking on the Giants. And the Giants' defense last night had just those 5 balls in the outfield. They just looked atrocious on. And then lastly, the riskiest bet, Rangers Athletics over 7.5. We got Spencer Howard taking on Cole Irvin. Spencer Howard, he has a 6.97 ERA in 20 innings pitched this season, and he's given up 8 home runs in those 20 innings. So the Athletics, I know they're not the greatest lineup, but if they could run into a couple, and then Cole Irvin, he's a decent starter, but the Rangers, they're solid against lefties. So Cole Irvin, a lefty, We need the Rangers to score a couple runs, and then you mix in the A's with a few there, over 7.5. You get these odds at plus 450.
Okay, I like most of that. Yeah, his that's a bad ERA. It's
8
really
home
bad.
runs in 20 innings.
It's bad. But it's the A's. Have you seen the A's lineup?
I have, but they're major
Here's
league.
my only reservation about that over. It's in Oakland. A lot of foul territory in Oakland, big ballpark.
Big ballpark, get one in the gap, start running.
But also that the A's just are a AAA team. They are a AAA team. That's what the A's are. But I'm not saying it can't happen. I think the Rangers are going to light up Cole Irvin. So, Chad, what's up, man? How we doing? But yeah, I think the Rangers is going to they're going to light up Cole Irvin. I'm more really worried about the A's scoring runs, even though Spencer Howard is god awful. So, all right, I can see where you're going with this. I like it. I like where we're going with this. I'm in some of these games as well. I'm calling mine. We're back and better than ever. Parlay plus 537. We're going to start. We got Phillies money line, Rays money line, Rangers money line. All right. So this is a scenario where I'm keeping it simple. Everyone's back from break. Might start a little bit slow offensively, but in the end, I think the better teams win these games. So Phillies get Justin Steele from the Cubs. They're 9th in the MLB against left-handed pitching. Even without Harper, I love them tonight. So let's go Phillies at home for leg one. We've already talked about Kyle Gibson. The Phillies are a better team than the Cubs, even without Bryce Harper. It really doesn't matter. The Phillies bullpen also has been very good since they fired Girardi. I don't know what happened. I don't know what they put in the sauce when Girardi left, but the Phillies bullpen's been a lot better. So we're going Phillies money line game one, leg one. Leg two, Rays money line. This is weird, right? Brad Keller's going for the Royals tonight. He's not very good. You got Drew Rasmussen going for the Rays. The Rays were actually underdogs when I looked earlier. They're minus 104. The Royals minus 112. That line makes no sense. Sounds like a trap. But guess what? The Royals stink. The Rays are a way better team than the Royals. I'll take the value. Give me the Rays on the money line. I just think they're a better team. Better teams win games like this. And then finally, Rangers on the money line. The Rangers are top 10 in baseball against left-handed pitching. Okay. That's why I like them tonight. They are top 10 in baseball against left-handed pitching. I believe they're about in the 7th or 8th range. Doesn't matter. Their lineup is way better than the A's lineup. I know Spencer Howard stinks, but I like the Rangers against Cole Irvin. Cole Irvin has not been bad this year, as Coach Dante said, but the Rangers lineup has been a lot better, especially in July. I will take the Rangers because I think if the Rangers get up early, even with Spencer Howard on the book, you got to take this into account too. The Rangers bullpen is pretty good. It's not a bad bullpen. They're in the top half of the league bullpen wise. If the Rangers get ahead early in this one, the A's aren't going to be able to keep up with them scoring, even though Spencer Howard is terrible. So to recap, Phillies money line, Rays money line, Rangers money line, plus 537. That's what I'm rolling with tonight, sir. You know we could win all these bets the same, by the way. Like, you could still hit the over in this game.
Oh, yeah.
You could still hit the
Phillies in the first 5, Phillies to win it after 9. Then we need a lot of runs in this Rangers game, and then the Rangers win. You
don't even need that many runs. You need just like a couple dingers here and there. We'll get to 8 or whatever. You need 8. 7.5 was the over.
And the thing I like is the line started at 7 yesterday, so it's working in our favor. So I grabbed it at 7.5 because it went up the half a run overnight. So the odds are, hopefully the books are seeing that they're like, wait, we set the spread at 7 and Spencer Howard's throwing. So that's what I'm hoping the books are thinking. And then I do like your Rays pick because I was looking at that line overnight and then this morning too. That thing moved heavily for the Rays. So
where'd it go?
For you in Europe.
But I'm saying where it moved, what it moved to.
I don't have the exact numbers.
Let's look because the thing is
the Royals were like minus. The Royals were minus, and then I looked this morning. I had the Royals at plus 110 on one of my.
Oh apps. Wow, that's moving a lot. Let's see. I'm gonna look right now because the thing is too. Everyone who's paying attention, who's watching right now, here's a baseball betting tip for you. If you wait till lineups come out to make your bets, you're going to lose a ton of value. The lineups don't matter. You have to check. You get the best lines early in the morning. I'm talking like pre 10 a.m. You get great lines. So yeah, right now the Rays went from minus 104 to minus 130.
Right. And plus 110 right now for the Royals.
Plus 110 for the Royals. So basically, think about this. At 7 a.m., maybe I'm a degenerate because I'm looking at 7 a.m. I don't care. All right. This is what we're doing. 7 a.m., the Rays were minus 104, and that line has moved all the way to minus 130. So you grab this stuff early. That is a baseball betting tip for anybody who's paying attention. Grab your lines early when you do your research. You see a line like that looks out of whack, you hammer it then. So also, I will be at Mets Padres tonight. Taking my dad to the game was his Father's Day gift. So I am 2-0 so far this year on betting, going to the game and betting the Nerfy, live Nerfy. So tonight I will be doing the Nerfy in that game. That is at minus 138. It's Darvish versus Scherzer. I have to do it. I'll be doing it not like live, like IG live. Like I'll be recording my stuff and I'll post a video probably over the weekend on the Nerfy experience at the Mets game. So yes, Key, we play FanDuel. Yeah, all on FanDuel. FanDuel's the best app, in my opinion. I don't really love DraftKings. PointsBet's pretty good. They have some good options. Barstool's pretty good, but they don't really have, I don't know. Barstool's weird. They just give you money a lot of the time, which is cool, but I don't really use it. I use FanDuel. FanDuel's my one. What do you like?
I've been on DraftKings. I have Caesars just because when New York came out, I downloaded the app on the first day. I downloaded all the apps, but I've been fading out Caesars a lot over the past couple of weeks. But DraftKings has been, and of course FanDuel have been the top 1 and 2. So
yeah. All right. So we're gonna. I don't like DraftKings either. Key knows what I'm saying. I don't know why I don't like DraftKings. DraftKings has like some cool stuff with you could bet a team total over under for the first 5 innings if you wanted to. That's about it. That's the only thing I would ever use that app for. But whatever it is. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Shout out again to the Spotlight Sports Network as we are live. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify for the podcast, YouTube for this live show, Twitter. We don't have an Instagram yet. We got to work on that, but that's okay. So YouTube, Instagram. No, sorry. YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you can listen to Parlay Friday. Also, it's parlayfriday.com. We have merch dropping. We got some new shirts that we have dropped on there as well. I got a new one today, which is pretty solid. But yeah, so thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Everybody, remember, if you want to be a man at night, you got to be a man in the morning. And we'll see you next week.